Blog Talk Radio.
All right, good evening. Welcome to Date Night with me, Chrissy Bogue. My date tonight will be the undefeated amateur MMA fighter, Ryan Lewis Castro. And this will be the on the mic segment for Ring Fever. And if you don't know who Ryan is, he's one of the best fighters I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that. He's quickly making his way up the ranks. So let me get him on the phone. He has a big fight coming up March 28th at New York Fight Exchange.
Hello?
All right, I know you just got off of work. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me on your Friday night.
Not a problem.
I know you're training hard for your upcoming fight. We're going to get to that, though. I don't want to talk about that right now, though. Can you just tell everyone a little bit about yourself so people can get to know who you are, a little bit of your background? Where do you train? Who's your head coach? Your trainers?
Well, first and foremost, my name is Ryan Lewis Castro. I'm fighting at East-West MMA of Long Island. My head coach is Roberto Beltran, and he is a very experienced kickboxer, had a lot of success, and he's the owner of the gym and the head coach.
And how old are you?
I am 22.
All right, so now how long have you been fighting? Because I know it hasn't been long, right?
Actually, this month marks 1 year with East-West, and that's I've had some previous experience, nothing crazy. I did some experimenting in my younger days when I was 14, 15. I very light Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and a little boxing here and there, but I never stuck with it more than a month or two just because my parents couldn't afford it, and I was always getting myself into trouble, so they didn't want to make the sacrifice for me when I wasn't behaving.
So you were a bad boy.
I like to consider myself the bad guy gone good.
Did you do any wrestling in high school? What made you get into this?
Nothing really made me get into it. I was pretty much just born loving to fight. I don't know what it was. It was just I always just loved throwing punches, throwing kicks, getting into fights with the bigger kids, and always roughhousing. But I never wrestled in middle school or high school. I just, I came from a pretty big family, so I was always fighting with my brothers and my cousins and whatnot, and of course in school.
Now I know when you and I spoke, you told me a little bit that your grandfather used to actually be a fighter.
Yeah, actually, that's what really pushes me the most is my grandfather was a real old school karate, striking jiu-jitsu guy, and I remember growing up as a kid, him having several dojos, and he was always traveling, and there was always footage that he would show me of him competing in bare knuckle contact sports, before MMA and UFC really existed. He was one of the original kind of I don't know how to really put it, but to me it was what the UFC first started out, but there was a lot more rules of course back then, but it was definitely pretty hardcore.
So what did your grandfather do? He was amateur or? No,
my grandfather was a professional fighter, and he did kickboxing, and he did a lot of karate stuff. Unfortunately, I lost. Ronald Molesky was his name. And, I wish I knew more and I had more information about him, but the way about 7 or 8 years ago, and in that, I pretty much, I lost a lot of information that I should have had. I mean, all I really got left of him is one tape of him fighting and all of his business cards.
But that was your inspiration to fight?
Yeah, it was definitely what pushed me to want to do it. I've always wanted to fight. I always wanted to fight. I always wanted to compete, and I just, I didn't have the funds. My head wasn't on straight enough, and the way I looked at it was like this: if I'm not going to give this my all, my 100%, my full dedication, to me, there's no reason to get involved with it because I don't want to look like a fool, and if I do it, I want to look like elite. I want to look like every time I'm in there, the person standing across from me doesn't belong with me.
So what was it that pushed you to take it to that next level?
Yeah, it was a couple things. I mean, I had a really good job. I've been doing electrical work since I was about 14 or 15. I'm a high school dropout. My dad had an electrical company, and he was getting really busy, and I wasn't doing too well in school. So I started to work with him at a young age, and I pretty much got myself up to like a master electrician status by the time I was like 18 or 19. And I left my dad's company, and I was working for a pretty big company out by me in Suffolk County for the past several years. And I was making a lot of money. I had my own place. I was very comfortable, but there was something that was always missing, and something that I would say every day. I would always say, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I should be fighting, but you know what? It's better off that I take the safe route and live comfortably rather than taking a shot in the dark. A couple of days before New Year's Eve 2014, and for some reason I broke down with like a really bad anxiety attack. After really panicking, and I had a couple issues with my health, I said to myself, I mean, what do I really want to do? Because it was pretty much like a life or death situation. And I said to myself, what do you want to do, and who would you want to die as? You want to be just a regular guy working a 9-to-5 job, doing what everybody else does, or do you want to work for something that will give you a lot of success and significance? And I knew that I had a gift in fighting because I've gotten into tons of fights, and I never lost a fight as a kid. I would always be the one on top, and I never really had fair fights either. And it was always something that all my friends and family pretty much would push me to do, but I was just like, oh, yeah, maybe one day. So situation broke down. I said to myself, you know what? If I'm going to push through this, and if I'm going to get myself on track with my health and with everything that's going on, I said, I got to give this my all. I got to quit my job, and I got to start training. And that's actually shortly after it was the new year. I started losing weight because I was a little heavy, and I got myself into the shape to walk into the doors of East West, thinking that I would go in there not having any problems to anybody in there, but I was definitely sadly mistaken. And the day I walked in, I signed right up. I knew I was in the right place. The guys there were great. The first people I sparred with was Rick Schaefer, Andre Schuler, Felipe Carlos, Devin Worth, who's a 16-year-old up-and-coming prodigy, and, a few of the guys there, and I got smashed by every single one of them. So
wow.
I signed up in February, and I've been working every day since.
Well, I don't believe you were out of shape, because I saw your abs at New York Fight Exchange 5. I don't really believe you, Ryan.
Well, it was 1 year ago. It
well,
was 1 year and 30 to 40 pounds heavier than what I am now. I didn't know what a six-pack was until about 6 months ago.
Well, I don't even know what it is, all right? Imagine being me. I don't even know what it is, Ryan. You know what I always like to ask every fighter? Why would you want to get hit in the face for a living? That's like a question I really want a good answer to that.
Well, my answer is probably not going to be too good because I'm a little bit strange. I pretty much enjoy getting hit. I encourage getting hit. That's why I'm in the sport. I like to get hit. I like that feeling of the force coming at me and then bringing that force right back twice as hard. I've been blessed to have a pretty hard head and a strong chin that my fight team frequently tests, so I'm pretty confident in that.
Now, can you just take us through, I want to know how you prepare for your fight. Obviously, you have a big upcoming fight. Can you walk us through a typical day of your training, the diet that you have to do?
Okay. All right, well, my day always usually starts at about, I'd say 9 or 10 in the morning. I prepare all my stuff as soon as I wake up. I have a big breakfast. I like to have a lot of eggs with vegetables in it, and I'll have also a a side of oatmeal or granola to get my carbs in, and like a fruit smoothie and maybe like a cup of coffee. And what I do from there is I'll prepare pretty much like the same materials for the rest of the day, but I'll just shrink them out and I'll taper away. That way, like in the morning, I'm eating like a king, and by the end of the night, I'm pretty much eating like a slave, because I like to give my body all the energy in the beginning of the day and then burn it all off. And then how my training usually starts is usually about in the afternoon. I go to the gym where I exercise and lift weights, and I'll do my cardio, I'll do my strength and conditioning training, I'll do all my calisthenics, and I usually spend 3 to 4 hours in that gym, and then I'll go home from there, shower, eat, relax a little bit, and then I'll head over to East West, and I will do the classes that they have running from 6:30 to about 8:30, and then once the class is shut down, that's when the fight team, we all work together, and usually we're in there till about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and on some occasions I will go from there back to the gym just to get that extra bit of cardio in and that extra work, because most people will, the way I see it is as long as I'm training harder and training more frequently than anyone else, like that's what prepares me the most. It's just that confidence in knowing that my diet's on point, that all my exercising is like, on par, and I hit every area of it, like my wrestling, my jiu-jitsu, my boxing, my kickboxing, my Thai. Like I just try to work everything evenly so that I have a well-balanced game. And throughout the camp and throughout the 6 to 8 weeks leading up to a fight, I'll pretty much get my game plans together and work on my strengths and my weaknesses.
How many days a week do you have to work out?
I was working out 7 days a week, but then my body started catching up to that. So now I'm working out usually 5 to 6 days a week. But I mean, even on my days off, I'm still in the gym. Like when I say I'm taking a day off, I'll take a day off from my fight gym, but I'll still go to my other gym and do my strength and conditioning and whatever else I can do, and always working technique.
So how many hours are you working out?
I would say usually 6 to 8 hours at least. I treat it as a full-time job.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Is that what I have to do to get flat abs like you?
No, it might be a little bit simpler than that. I don't know if you have to go to that extreme. I think diet is key, and that's one problem. Is I like to eat a lot of food, so I eat a lot and burn it off. So I don't have I don't have one of those metabolisms where I could eat a lot and burn it off. So I got to work out as much as I eat, and I eat pretty often.
I don't really believe you. And you're Italian. Doesn't your grandfather own his own pizzeria?
Yes, he does. I eat there just about every day.
Tell everybody his name and pizzeria. He was a nice man. I met him at your last fight.
Yes, it is Pepe's Royal Pizzeria. It is in Patchogue, located on the corner of Woodside Avenue and Route 112. It's across from Nissan 112 and next to the 7-Eleven.
So, but you obviously don't eat the pizza, right?
No. I don't really eat anything Italian when I go in there. The reason why I'm eating there every day is because my grandfather cooks everything for me a special way. He makes everything, on point for my diet. Like he doesn't use any really heavy oil. He doesn't use any salt, and everything that I'm eating out of there is either grilled or sautéed. So I'm eating all the healthy stuff, and I get to. Yeah, he is. He's great. He's my biggest supporter and my biggest motivator for sure. And he's always on my back about every little thing I do.
Well, he gave me his digits, so I'm going to have to swing by there sometime.
Yeah, definitely stop by. I mean, I work there every Friday night. I'm helping him out 4 to 8 o'clock, 4 p.m. till 8 o'clock at night. So
what would you say that your biggest strengths are, and if there's anything at all that you feel that you need to work on?
My biggest strength I think, is my mindset and my heart. I have such a mindset that I can't be beaten. I won't be beaten. I refuse to be beaten. And I'm going to keep on working harder and harder throughout each fight. And as far as my heart goes, as long as my heart's beating, I'm giving it my 100%. There's no playing it safe. There's no, complacency in what I do. It's just everything that I'm doing it's just all out. And I like to give, most importantly, the fans what they want. And I feel like if I'm not putting my heart and my soul into my fighting, then I'm not giving the fans what they want, and that's one of my biggest things also. And my weakness, I have to say, probably the fact that I don't really like to take any time off, and sometimes my body takes the toll on that.
Well, you gotta rest. Isn't that important? Your body has to rest.
You do have to rest, but it's kind of hard to sit still when you're just constantly running off of that adrenaline.
What do you think your favorite strike or submission move is to use in any fight?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I like throwing every kind of punch. Like, I don't, even my coach tells me, I ask my coach all the time, I go, which punch is my hardest punch? He goes, all of them. He goes, every single one of your punches is hard. So it's pretty hard to pick them apart. I probably have to say it's the most simplest punch to throw is probably my jab. I love throwing that jab. I'm pretty quick with it, and I could throw them endlessly. I could just throw a jab all day. And
I feel like every time I watch you just get in, you grab the guy, you smack him down on the floor, and you just bang him out until it's a TKO. Yeah, it's pretty much I pretty much choose how I do that. It's every other fight has gone. The first one was submission, second one was knockout. The third one was actually a really tough decision against a great fighter. I learned a lot from that fight. And it's actually James Gonzalez. He's got an upcoming fight, too, February 28th. He's fighting for a title. He's really, really great. He's a real humble, skilled, talented up-and-comer. And I know that whenever I make it, he'll be right there with me. Yep, that's why I love him. I love you, Eddie Truck Gordon. The three people I love the most. Yeah, so I pretty much I'm going to keep on trying to go knockout submission. Yeah, I have pretty bad OCD, so I want to keep everything even. That's why my last fight, I could have easily submitted my last opponent, but you know what? I said, you know what? Let me get the TKO. Let me get the knockout. I'm just going to keep on throwing punches. There was a ton of submissions I could have done with where I had my opponent, but I just kept to choose to keep on swinging. Yeah. With the fight before that, it was the opposite. Yeah, because do you even like to stand with them? Because I feel like you take them down, right to the ground. I did not take my last opponent down, though. If you looked closely enough, I was there. It was my punches that brought him down to the floor. The fight before that, I had a different approach with my fight at New York Fight Exchange. Was because I wanted to showcase more of my ground skills, because every other fight I've kept standing. I prefer to stand up. That's I love doing that. I think that's what the fans want to see. Yeah. That's what I want to do. I love getting hit. I love throwing punches back, and to me, that is the ultimate way to really see who is the better, not necessarily the better man, but who's got the better chin, who's got the better heart, who's gonna sit there and take the harder punch and then come back, who's gonna drop first. Right. That's why I like to stand up, because if I stand up and I'm extending you and you curl up or you drop, okay, I just won the fight. So, but you get in quicker and faster than anybody I've ever seen before. You get in and you beat these people within seconds. That's unbelievable. So it looks like you're not really standing that long. You're getting them down on the mat. But it's from my stand-up. Technically, I haven't really used too much ground. I've shot for one takedown, and I got that takedown.
in my last fight, and I submitted him. Yeah, that was at the New York fight.
Let's get into then the last two fights that you won, obviously the New York Fight Exchange. We'll get into that next, but you just won on February 7th, was it?
Yes, I believe so.
At MMA Platinum Gloves 8. You were against Drew Nolan.
Correct.
And can you break that down for us, the fight, how it went?
I hate to to sound like this, but it was very easy, a lot easier than I expected, and I was a bit disappointed in it, to be honest, because I was expecting a much tougher fight from him. He had a total of 16 fights, 6 wins, 10 losses. It didn't matter if you have more losses than wins. In my mind, I thought, all right, this guy's got to be a warrior. This guy's got to want to stand there and trade. He's got to be dangerous. And it was pretty much the complete opposite of what I expected, and it ended a little bit too quick for me. I mean, with the victory, I'm happy that I won quickly, but I saw it going a different way.
Now, how many seconds and what round was it?
They actually announced it at 22 seconds of the first round, but after I watched the video, it was actually 19 seconds. I don't know why the ref stopped the fight at 19 seconds.
I just want to point out that you, in your speech, you were so nice to mention him in your speech. You acknowledged that he just drove 4 hours, right? Didn't he drive 4 hours there?
Yeah, he was coming from way upstate.
And you were nice enough to acknowledge that. See, that's something that Eddie Truck Gordon would do. And that's why I support you, because you're nice and you do something like that. You're not cocky.
Yeah, you got to treat people the way you would like to be treated. That's what I go by.
Now, why do you think that they didn't stop it at 19 seconds then, if it was 19 seconds and not 22?
Well, it was stopped at 19 seconds, but they announced 22 seconds. The minute the ref came in, it was 19 seconds. I guess by the time we stand up and, we figured out that the fight was stopped, I mean, it was a little bit confusing, to be honest. I mean, that ref really was not too great at all. But, it is what it is.
Well, that was nice of you to mention him. I commend you on that. And then
Thank you.
Last fight at New York Fight, you're very welcome. Your last fight at New York Fight Exchange was what? January, what was it, 23rd?
That was January 23rd.
And who did you fight? And tell us a little bit about that fight. Was it Andre?
I fought it was Andre Small.
Okay.
He comes from Extreme Couture in, I believe, Manhattan, if I'm not mistaken. But he actually
Did you know what you were up against then?
No, not too much. I mean, I don't really worry what I'm up against. I pretty much just worry about myself and what I'm going to do. I don't like to pay too much mind. I'll definitely give my opponent a brief look, just so that I have an idea of, how they might come at me or what might happen in the fight. I try to pick up on their strengths. I don't really care about their weaknesses too much, because I rather beat people at what they're good at.
So you don't do any research on them. You don't watch any of their tapes.
No, I mean, my team does most of that for me. I have to say, they're really the ones that look into it heavily. They'll tell me what things to do and maybe not to do, and we'll all just pretty much work from there. I personally don't think it's too good to get too obsessed about what you're up against or what your opponent might do, because then you'll be more worried about that than what you're going to do yourself.
That's a good point. And that's where I met you, at the New York Fight Exchange 5, right?
Yes.
Were you happy to meet me, or you don't sound too happy?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come off like that, but yeah, that's when I met the lovely Chrissy Bogue. What was that?
Then how did you? No, that was funny. How did you win that fight with Andre?
I won that one by a rear naked choke.
And you won that in round 1, right?
Round 1, 1 minute and 33 seconds in, I believe.
Oh my God! But your quickest fight was the one at Platinum Gloves, right?
Yes, correct. It was 10 seconds faster than my first fight.
Right.
Yep.
All right, so it was really 19 seconds, right?
Yeah. I guess we could say 22. That's what it's labeled as, so I guess we're going to have to just go with that.
So do you like to just get in? And I think I asked you this on camera. Do you like to just get in and get out? Because it looks like that you do. It looks like most of the fighters, it looks like, you know, it's going to go a few rounds. You just look like you're want to go in first round, pound the guy, and get out.
Yeah, that is exactly what I want to do. But I'm ready, and I'm excited for the fact that it might go on more than that. Because the first round, I'm not warm. I'm not really fighting up to my full potential because I don't get to catch my, you know, second wind or whatever. But, you know, I have a lot of my family coming to watch me. I got my great-grandmother. I got my grandmother. I got my parents. So I don't like to keep them on their toes, you know. I'd rather just end it quickly for them because I know they like it that way. Pretty much.
That's awesome. So you're doing it for Grandma?
Yeah, got to do it for Grandma.
Is that how you always want to fight? You don't like to go the full, 3 rounds?
I mean,
you don't like to go the full 3?
I mean, hey, if that person is good enough to make it 3 rounds, then I'm all for it. But my goal is to keep on ending them quickly.
And I see it in you. You know, you don't see it in a lot of fighters. I see in you that you want to just get in. You know, I just see something special in you that I don't see in a lot of people.
Thank you. I really appreciate
that. You have that hunger, that fight that you want to just get in and get out.
I just want to keep it rolling. I just want to stay healthy. Want to end them as fast as I can so that I could get back in there as soon as possible. And
now,
keep the buzz going around my name. I said, just to keep the buzz going around my name, too. The more often I fight, the more people get to know who I am.
Right, because how many fights did you say you did total so far?
I've had 4 MMA fights and 1 kickboxing fight, total of 5 fights.
Wow. And look where you are now. So now you're back fighting at New York Fight Exchange 6. I'm going to let you tell everybody about that upcoming fight that you got. Go ahead.
March 28th, I will be taking on the very dangerous, very, I'd say, talented, aggressive, and athletic Super Saiyan Watford, who is the current WKA New York State lightweight title holder, and he's actually got himself a contract to Bellator, and I am blessed enough to be his last fight before he goes and takes the next step in his MMA career.
Now, how do you feel about that matchup?
I'm so confident in it. I mean, the way I feel, I've literally, he's one of the reasons why I've wanted to get into it so quickly. Like, I remember watching NYFE 1 and seeing him fight and saying to myself, like, that guy's good. But you know what? I know beyond a shadow of doubt I could beat this guy. I go, and that's the type of guy I want to fight because I'll see the best of me and you'll get to see the best of him. And I know that he's not going to, especially being that he's going to Bellator, he's definitely not quitting, right. And he's going to be tougher and better than he ever has been. But right. Yeah, so when I took a look at that fight, I said to myself, I got to get into this. I gotta get to NYFE because I want to fight him. And I knew he was going to be the champion. I knew it was going to happen.
So how did you get that call? How did that all happen for you? Were you excited? I mean, obviously you were excited when you got the call.
I mean, how it all happened was the first thing that initially happened was after my fight with Andre Small, I came out of the cage, and Tom Scones came up to me, and he goes, how does the title fight sound? And I go, that sounds awesome. And I asked for it after my fight, too. And it seemed like after the night that it really wasn't going to happen because I was talking right. to Mike Washington, the other president of NYFE, and he was saying that Sam wanted to fight somebody else or something like that. And he's like, he goes, you got 3 fights, and you really think you're ready? And I was like, I know I'm ready. And it was right before he was going to fight. And I'll tell you one thing is, I know that he's going to win right now. And I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you how he's going to win. He's going to choke this guy out inside 2 rounds. And that's exactly what happened. And it was just like, it was one of those things where I knew I had something else to prove to get that fight. That's why I went and fought at Platinum 2 weeks later and did what I did. Because I knew in doing that would be enough to, for them to want to come offer me Watford, and that's exactly what happened.
How did you feel when New York Fight Exchange did post about you guys fighting for the title? When Sam posted, I don't know, I don't even know if I have it right correctly, but he wrote, "What? Who is this? I'm hungover right now." Whatever. He was trying to, get in your head. Did you get upset about that?
You know what? Not at all. I mean, to be honest, it showed me. I could be sadly mistaken, but to me, it showed me a sign of immaturity. It showed me that maybe this guy's not taking me seriously. I don't really.
Right.
You're not in my head. Nobody's in my head. I'm in my head. With I kind of saw it as a little bit of a weakness, to be honest. But
he was trying to get in your head. That's what I think. But I loved your comeback. You were like, before honor is humility. You have my respect, and I will earn mine. And that was a great way to handle that. And that's what made me love you even more. You didn't come back with any, you weren't immature. You didn't come back and be like, "Oh, no, I'm going to beat you." You came back and you handled it with dignity. Yeah,
in my eyes, that's the only way to be in life, especially in this sport, because you have a lot of people representing it the wrong way. And to me, you got to respect the sport. You got to respect your opponent. Most importantly, represent and respect yourself. So that's why I handle myself that way.
Exactly. And when he wrote that, I was kind of like, now I don't really like this guy. But after you put your comment, and then he wrote that he did respect you, he kind of saved himself a little bit. I was like, all right. Because at first I was like, that's not cool.
Yeah, I think you definitely realized that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But you did.
Trying.
Well, it's the truth. But you know what? To me, that says when people have to write stuff like that, they're afraid of you. They know what they're up against. To me, that's how I take it.
Yeah, I pretty much have to say I take it the same way, but I wasn't going to come out and say that.
Well, and I'm not even in this sport. I'm not a fighter. I don't know. I can just tell from what he wrote, because you didn't write something like that. You could have easily did that, but you didn't say that. You weren't trying to be cocky. You didn't write anything like that. So.
And I have no reason to be cocky.
Exactly. Well, but everyone will see on March 28th. But do you know anything about Watford, what you're up against?
Yeah, I've seen every one of his fights. I actually was the one to put on his gloves before he got the WKA title. So his first fight I watched on the computer. His second fight I watched on the computer. His third fight I was there present. His fourth fight I was present. I wrapped up his hands. His fourth fight was the one that he got the title. And then just his last fight where him and I both fought on the same card. I watched that one very closely as well.
Wow.
So I know exactly what I'm up against.
Now, strategically, where do you think that you can beat him?
Honestly, I think I could beat him everywhere.
Do you see any holes when you watch any of his videotape? Do you see any holes in his game?
Yeah, I definitely, in my game or his game?
Do you see any holes in his game where you can beat him?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's why I pretty much been begging for this fight, because there's like this whole like aroma behind him that people seem to think he's untouchable or unbeatable for some reason. And he's definitely got it. Like I wouldn't want to fight anybody who wasn't named Sam Watford right now. I just think that that even though he's got more, let's say, experience as far as he's probably been training longer than I am, and he started, fighting at the amateur level before I have, I still think I'm more experienced in the combat of just fighting itself. And I think I'm more durable than he is. Mm-hmm. And there's still a lot of things people have yet to see about me. And I've definitely taken a different kind of approach in the aspect of the way that I fight. I mean, one thing is for sure, I always come out full throttle and I give it my all. But every fight, I've come out a different way. So you could watch all my videos, you could see all you want to see, but you're not going to see really the same fighter each fight. You'll see the same aggressive kid. You'll see, the same toughness that I have, but, I'm definitely going to surprise him. I'm definitely going to surprise him for sure.
Oh, I know you will. How and what round do you think you're gonna finish Sam in on March 28th?
I'm going for the first round. I'm definitely going for the first round. I vaguely see it getting out of the first round, but I'm going to be ready for the 3 rounds, and I know that I'm not taking him lightly at all, but I'm confident in my training. I'm confident in my teammates, and most importantly, I'm confident that I'll win. That's all that matters.
How do you think you're going to finish him, though? What will be the final? Is it going to be naked chokehold? What are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think I want to try to submit him. He's got a purple belt under Henso Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm not ranked under Jiu-Jitsu, but my Jiu-Jitsu is definitely there, and I'm pretty confident on that. I think that's where he might try to take the fight. That's where he seems to be more comfortable. And, I don't know. I feel like once he feels my power, he's going to be trying to tie me up and get me down at any means. But we will see.
Do you feel like this is your biggest fight yet?
Oh, absolutely. Every fight that happens is your biggest fight. Like, you know.
But you're going for the
that's how
WK state title. This is your first.
I don't really like I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely happy, and it's what I wanted. Mm-hmm. But I'm not really, there's no pressure. There's no, any, different feeling. This is just like any other fight that I've had. There's nothing different in it for me. There's no pressure on me. I'm going after something that I don't have, but, I mean, when you really think about it, who's got the weight of the world on their shoulders? I'm not the one that has to worry about going to Bellator taking a loss. I'm not the one that has to worry about losing to the newcomer. I pretty much came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So.
But you're not out of really nowhere. You've proven that you deserve to be there. What do you think that you'll be able to capitalize then to get to the advantage when you face him, Watford, on March 28th?
I think.
I
don't know.
What do you think that your strongest asset is then to get him?
My strongest asset is my will to win. I don't think that there's another person on the face of this earth that wants to win as bad as I do. And I don't quit. I've never tasted defeat. I know he has. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when I push him to a certain point, and when he feels my pressure, and when he sees how bad I want it, and when he looks into my eyes, he's going to know right then and there what he's in for, and he's not going to like it.
Someone teach you the way to be positive? Who teaches you this?
I actually get all of this from the Bible. I'm actually I'm a born again Christian, and I believe in Jesus Christ, and I'm all about positivity. And I get all my faith, and I get all my promises from my God, and I know that He wouldn't steer me wrong. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Him. I wouldn't have got this call. I wouldn't have got this opportunity. I'm not set up for failure. I'm set up for nothing but success from here on out. And I know that because I took a risk and I took a chance with doing what I'm doing. It hasn't been an easy road, but you know what? I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the struggles. I'm grateful for all the challenges and just everything that's brought me exactly to where I am right now. And I just can't wait to finally take the next step to fulfilling my destiny.
Oh, Ryan, that was nice. Now I love you even more.
Still got a long ways to work, but yeah, I'll definitely take the second.
I don't think you have a long ways. See, Eddie's very grateful too, and I hope you don't ever lose that. All right, just stay humble. Is there anybody on your radar that you'd like to fight? I'm not even talking now, even when you get into the UFC, because I know you will. If you could have one dream fight with anyone, who would it be?
If I could have one dream fight with anyone.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be in your amateur MMA fighting. When you're in the UFC, I know you will be.
I would love to have a fight with Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
Okay.
I think it would definitely be the guy to fight.
And
I just feel like the reason why is because that dude is a straight-up badass. That guy fights with everything he's got in him, just like I do. He's always ready to fight. He'll fight back-to-back the next day if he could have. He'll move up in weight. He'll move down in weight. And he's not one of those people that fight safe. You know, he fights for the fans. He fights because he loves to do it. And to me, he's got to be the most legendary guy in there right now. Even though he's not a champion, in my eyes, he is, just because of his you know, the way his approach and just the way he does things. And I feel like just being in the ring with somebody like that would really show me a lot about myself, and it would just be, you know, just like the thickest like experience being in there with him.
And I know it will. I don't even have to say I hope it happens for you. I know it will.
I believe it will too.
I know it will. We didn't touch upon can you tell us about your next fight coming up? Tell everybody. March 28th. Tell
everybody what's that about? How I'm going to win the New York State WTA title.
Well, just tell us what you're fighting for and when it is. Go ahead.
It is March 28th, Saturday, at the Amazura
nightclub. Yep.
And I'm fighting for a chance to really get to show everybody out here in New York who I really am. I've had a lot of tough opponents. I've had a lot of great fights, but this will be the one to really put me on the map. This is going to be the door that opens up many more doors. Like, you know, I know that once I conquer this and once I get past this, it's going to, I know my life's really going to change.
Where do you see your MMA career in about 5 years from now?
I see myself as UFC champion in 5 years, without a doubt.
I believe that will happen. And I don't say that to everybody, just so you know. You and Eddie are my favorite. Now, you mentioned fighting abroad. I remember when me and you talked a little bit, right? That's a dream of yours.
What was that?
You mentioned fighting abroad. That's a dream of yours?
What do you mean by fighting abroad?
You want to fight abroad, out of the country. That's what you told me.
Did I say that?
Oh, my God. Were you drunk? What's going on?
No, I don't drink. So I don't know if I remember saying that correctly.
You said you wanted to move out of the country. You wanted to fight out of the country.
Absolutely. That I definitely want to do.
Oh, now you remember. What the hell happened?
Yeah. I thought you said fighting like a woman. Like I was kind of confused by that.
No,
I apologize.
What are you, Bruce Jenner? Come on, bro. What's going on here, Ryan? What's going on here, Ryan? No.
I'm sorry. Listen, I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. I'm sorry.
I know, and I really appreciate you doing this. Where's your dream destination to fight?
My dream destination to fight out of the country, I really want to go over to the Netherlands. I was pretty stuck on Thailand for a while, but after finding more about it and learning a lot more about the Netherlands and what they do over there, I really would like to go over there and train at Golden Glory, like Nicky Holston and all those crazy kickboxing guys. They that's like the Dutch style Thai boxing way. Like, you know, I would like to go over there and not so much really focus on the MMA aspect of it, but to improve my kickboxing in over there. Because I feel like in America, I feel like we're pretty much the best place for MMA. I strongly believe that. Like, you know, we got a very good wrestling foundation. We got a great boxing foundation, and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is really on the next level over here too, especially in New York. And I feel like as far as the kickboxing goes, it's more overseas. It's definitely bigger in like Thailand and the Netherlands. Hopefully in the near future I'll be there. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the goals.
I know you will be, Ryan. I definitely know you will be. Now, where can fans find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook. My name is Ryan Lewis Castro, and I'm on Instagram as well, Castro_Ryan, and that's pretty much it for me on social media. No Twitter and none of that other stuff.
Oh, you don't have Twitter. Okay. And you
I
know
think
where people can buy tickets?
Yes. You can buy tickets on, I believe, the NYSE website. I should be getting tickets soon also, and I believe that my gym might have tickets as well.
I saw on Facebook that they posted that you can use a promo code with your last name, so they get like 10% off.
Yeah, I believe so.
Did you see that?
Yeah, so if you purchase the tickets online and you use my last name for the promo code, you will receive a discount. Yep.
I think it's the Eventbrite.com website. I know that they posted on the flyer for you that it was Eventbrite.com / I don't know, it's a long thing, so I'm just going to tell everybody to go to Eventbrite.com and then type in the search bar New York Fight Exchange, and then when they go to purchase the tickets, they can do Castro all in caps.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So listen, we have
You're my biggest supporter.
I really am, but I'm not even I really mean it. I hope you understand that I only support people that I really like.
I can see that. 100%.
I really do. Is there anything else that you want to say to anybody? Is there anything else that you want to say before I wrap it up? We have 5 minutes left.
Okay, I just want to, first and foremost, thank anybody who tuned in to listen to the conversation. Hopefully I didn't sound too foolish. And I appreciate any support to me and the promotion, New York Fight Exchange. They're very professional. They've done a great job, and they create a lot of opportunities for us up-and-coming fighters. And just please come out March 28th to support me for my New York State title fight. And don't even come just for me. I got my two brothers fighting also. Costa Gemelis fighting for the national title, and Elijah Ponzone, he's fighting for the title. And we all bring it. I mean, none of our fights are boring fights. We come out swinging, and NYSE knows what they're doing with these events. So you'll have a great time.
They really do.
With a bunch of great people, and you'll get to see, the future of MMA unfold.
And really quick, after this fight, do you know what your next fight will be after this, or you don't know until after?
There's a few things up in the air. I'm not really focusing on it too much. I don't know what the next step will be, but I will be looking forward to fighting again in the following month. I just don't know when and where exactly yet.
All right, well, listen, Ryan, I have no doubt that you'll be the one walking out with that shiny belt around your waist. I know it. And I have no doubt that we will see you in the UFC one day. I wouldn't say that to just anybody. I really mean that. I'm a huge fan of you. I'll be waiting at New York Fight Exchange with my mic, my Ring Fever mic in my hand, ready to interview you. You better stop by me.
I will. I'll stop by before and after, just like I did last time.
I know. You were sitting right next to me. That was so nice that you were sitting there instead of hanging out in the room upstairs where everybody was hanging out.
Yeah, I like to get a feel for
the
environment.
You said that. I know. I like that. So make sure you come find me. I'm going to interview you for your first championship title. I can't wait.
I can't wait also. I'll be looking forward to it. And I got to thank you very, very, very much. I can't thank you enough for all your support, all your love, and just, your faith in me. I cherish that, and it really makes me push a lot harder, and I really appreciate that, Chrissy.
Well, I really mean it. I wouldn't, if I didn't feel it, I wouldn't be here. So I really believe in you. I know you're going to go far, Ryan, and I can't wait to see you on March 28th win. And you will. You will definitely see me win. Oh, I know we will. You're one of the quickest fighters that I've ever seen. You get in and you get out. I like that. You don't waste anybody's time. Hopefully. Yeah, exactly. And I intend to keep it that way. Is that really what you like to do? You like to just get in, get out? That's it? I mean, you know what? In my gym,
East-West, I'll sit there and fight all day. But in the ring, when it's time for me to win, I'm winning as fast and as devastating as I possibly can.
Well, you've proved it. All right, well, again, that was undefeated lightweight amateur fighter Ryan Lewis Castro out of East-West MMA. And his fight for the WK state title against Sam Watford will be March 28th at Club M Missouri at 7 p.m. And, again, you can buy tickets at eventbrite.com and then just do a search for New York Fight Exchange 6 and then use promo code, all in caps, Castro. Or you can call 516-458-9525. Or you can call 631-896-1320. And then thanks, everyone, for tuning in. This is my On the Mic segment for Ring Fever. Next week, I'll be talking with another great amateur MMA fighter, James Gonzalez, who trains out of Sarah BJJ. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.